Roman 4, Keats' Lamia by Charles Lamb. Lamia, Isabella, The Eve of St. Agnes and Other Poems, by John Keats. Author of Endymion. Such is the description which Mr. Keats has given us, with a delicacy worthy of Christabel, of a high-born damsel, in one of the apartments of a baronial castle, laying herself down devoutly to dream, on the charmed eve of St. Agnes, and like the radiance which comes from those old windows upon the limbs and garments of the damsel, is the almost Chaucer-like painting, with which this poet illumes every subject he touches. We have scarcely anything like it in modern description. It brings us back to ancient days, and the finest thing in the volume is the paraphrase of Boccaccio's story of the pot of basil. Two Florentines, merchants, discovering that their sister Isabella has placed her affections upon Lorenzo, a young factor in their employ, when they had hopes of procuring for her a noble match, decoy Lorenzo, under pretense of a ride into a wood, where they suddenly stab and bury him. The anticipation of the PG 237 assassination is wonderfully conceived in one epithet, in the narration of the ride. Returning to their sister, they delude her with a story of their having sent Lorenzo abroad to look after their merchandises. But the spirit of her lover appears to Isabella in a dream and discovers how and where he was stabbed and the spot where they have buried him. To ascertain the truth of the vision, she sets out to the place, accompanied by her old nurse, ignorant as yet of her wild purpose. Her arrival at it and digging for the body is described in the following stanzas, than which there is nothing more awfully simple in diction, more nakedly grand and moving in sentiment, in Dante, in Chaucer, or in Spenser. To pursue the story in prose, they find the body, and with their joint strength sever from it the head, which Isabella takes home, and wrapping it in a silken scarf, entombs it in a PG 238 garden pot, covers it with mold, and over it she plants sweet basil, which, watered with her tears, thrives so that no other basil tufts in all Florence throve like her basil. How her brothers, suspecting something mysterious in this herb, which she watched day and night, at length discover the head, and secretly convey the basil from her. And how from the day that she loses her basil she pines away, and at last dies. For this, we must refer our readers to the poem, or to the divine germ of it in Boccaccio. It is a great while ago since we read the original, and in this affecting revival of it we do but more exuberantly rich in imagery and painting, is the story of the Lamia. It is of as gorgeous stuff as ever romance was composed of. Her first appearance in serpentine form, her dialogue with Hermes, the star of Lethe, as he is called by one of these prodigal phrases which Mr. Keats abounds in, which are each a poem in a word, and which in this instance lays open to us at once, like a picture, all the dim regions and their inhabitants, and the sudden coming of a celestial among them. The charming of her into woman's shape again by the god, her marriage with the beautiful Lycius, her magic palace which those who knew the street and remembered it complete from childhood never remembered to have seen before, the few Persian mutes her attendants. The high-wrought splendors of the nuptial bower, with the fading of the whole pageantry, Lamia, and all away before the glance of Apollonius, are all that fairy land can do for us. They are for younger impressibilities. To us an ounce of feeling is worth a pound of fancy. And therefore we recur again, with a warmer gratitude, to the story of Isabella and the pot of basil, and those never-cloying stanzas which we have cited, and which we think should disarm criticism, if it be not in its nature cruel. If it would not deny to honey its sweetness, nor to roses redness, nor light to the stars in heaven, if it would not bay the moon out of the skies, rather than acknowledge she is fair. PG 239.